Hi students, welcome to my channel Auto Tech Experts. Today we will discuss as per the demand of the students that fuel injection system in CI engine. CI engine you can understand, compression ignition engine. That means we also can say that it is a diesel engine. So before this lecture we have already discussed regarding the fuel injection system in petrol engine, that means carburetor, working of carburetor and its principles we have completely described. Today we will discuss in details fuel injection system in CI engine. Before this one, let me tell you some of these interesting facts and logics in this CI engine injection system. You see, we know that in case of the CI engine, at the inlet, what we are taking? We are taking only air as an inlet to the system. Because the fuel is injected directly to the cylinder by means of injectors. As we are taking only air into the inlet, so we can say that volumetric efficiency is more in case of CI engine than that of this SI इंजन. इसीलिए तो हम लोग बोलते हैं कि CI इंजन का माइलेज इज मोर देन दैट ऑफ दिस SI इंजन. यस और नो? अनदर पॉइंट इज दैट यू सी CI engine, compression ignition engine, in case of SI engine, for starting of this combustion we have there a external medium, the spark plug is there for which the combustion has been started. But here no external medium is there, and this air fuel mixture is able to burn. How it is possible? Due to the higher temperature, more temperature of this air due to this compression, and it is able to burn the diesel fuel. That's why it is understood that in case of this diesel engine, definitely the compression ratio should be more, for which the air temperature will be higher, so that it can able to burn the diesel fuel. Another thing what it should be remembered here, we know that self ignition temperature of diesel is less than पेट्रोल. पेट्रोल का सेल्फ इग्निशन टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा होता है. दैट्स वाई वी रिक्वायर्ड ए स्पार्क प्लग टू इग्नाइट द पेट्रोल फ्यूल. बट हियर इन डीजल फ्यूल एज द सेल्फ इग्निशन टेम्परेचर इज लेस, सो इफ यू कैन अचीव सम मोर टेम्परेचर बाय दिस एयर, देन इट इज ऑटोमेटिकली एबल टू बर्न. So many other things, details, facts and logics we will discuss in between. So let us start with that one. We can remember the total process very smoothly and easily. We can remember. Let me tell you what are the basic components in a CI engine fuel injection system. These 6 components I have written. The first one you see fuel tank, the second one diesel filter, third one lift pump, FIP fuel injection pump, high pressure line injector. Another one you may write, that is a return line. You may write return line. So these things we will discuss in details. So these components are common in any of the CI engine. Maybe in some modern vehicles we can say for the new technology, some 1-2 other components, sensors, actuators are there. But these things are very much common to all the CI engine system. So this is the fuel tank or diesel tank, you can say, where we are pouring the diesel fuel into the system. And after this one you can say that there are 2 filters are there. These are actually paper types of filters, and manufacturers are like Myco Bosch or Lucas TBS. These 2 companies are making these filters. 2 filters are there. One is primary filter, another one is secondary filter. Then this is the FIP fuel injection pump. This FIP is of also 2 types, inline FIP and rotary FIP are there. Inline FIP in the sense the fuel supply lines or the piston cylinder arrangements are in a line. In case of this rotary injection pumps are also there, where there is a rotary pump we are using. It is a compact and small sized. Nowadays also it is highly used in case of this CI engine systems. Rotary pumps are also used, but we have taken a inline FIP. Then this red color pipes, you can say that this is high pressure lines. After this pump, these high pressure lines are connected to these injectors. So they, you can see here how many numbers of injectors: 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. 4 numbers of injectors are there and 4 numbers of supply lines are there. So we can easily also understand that this is a 4-cylinder diesel engine. We can understand. Okay. So and finally this through this injector, this fuel is injected into the piston cylinder arrangement to the clearance volume. It is injected. Now the components is just I have discussed that these many of components are there, and this blue color line as you are seeing, after this is a return line, and again this return line is connected to this fuel tank. That means whatever the fuel we have taken for this injection, after that how much, maybe one drop of diesel fuel is also remain, that is again returned to this fuel tank. So this is, you can say that it is a completely closed system. Nowhere else any open air is there, so no air passage is there. So also we are not the diesel fuel is not leakage to the atmosphere, so emission pollution is also prohibited. Now you think, so here one float arrangement is there. It is very common. You know that in this meter board also we are seeing that how much diesel or how much fuel is remained. That is the system. This float system is there. Now you see what's happened. This line is known as, in which line the diesel fuel is passing to this pump. This is known as fuel main line. And in which line the fuel is returned to the tank, it is known as the fuel return line. This one is the fuel return line. Okay. So see what's happened. Whenever we just की ऑन द इंजन, हम लोग चाबी में इंजन को ऑन करते हैं. सो व्हाट्स हैपेंड, दिस प्राइमरी फिल्टर व्हिच इज नोन एज द, यू कैन सी लिफ्ट पंप और प्राइमिंग लीवर इज देयर, इट इज ऑन. सो दैट व्हाट्स हैपेंड, इट जस्ट सॉक्ड द फ्यूल फ्रॉम द डीजल टैंक. ये डीजल टैंक से फ्यूल को सक कर लेता है. नाउ इट इज ऑटोमेटिक, मोटोराइज्ड, इलेक्ट्रिकली कनेक्टेड. सो व्हेनेवर यू की ऑन द इंजन, द पंप सॉक द फ्यूल फ्रॉम द टैंक to this FIP. Otherwise, previously what's happened, this is a hand priming is there. We will just prime it so that the fuel is sucked from the diesel line to the FIP. As the fuel is coming, it is fastly, it is coming to this primary filter. It is also known as, I have written, coarse filter. So pehle whatever the impurities, slacks, any foreign particles will be there, it is filtered out and pure diesel is going to the secondary filter. Secondary filter is a fine filter. More fine filtration will be there. So completely pure diesel, only pure diesel is now transferred to this FIP. FIP, inside this FIP, it is a very complex device, you can say, a small component, but in between that, inside that one, numbers of piston cylinder arrangements are there, so that it is develops a very high pressure. Whatever the fuel is coming to this FIP, now this FIP is responsible to generate a very high pressure. Generally in this common CI engines, we are generating the pressure around 200 to 250 bar of pressure you can generate. You can imagine atmospheric pressure is 1 bar, but this FIP is generating 200 to 250 bar of pressure it is generating. So numbers of piston cylinder or plunger arrangements are there through which it is generating the high pressure. Now how it is operating, how the FIP will operate, FIP का piston और cylinder को कौन चलाएगा. Now you see that here a pulley arrangement is there. FIP पे यहाँ पे pulley arrangement is there. This pulley is connected to this engine, the prime mover, the crankshaft pulley. It is connected so that whenever this crankshaft is rotated, so that this FIP is also rotated. Whenever this FIP is rotated, so within that process, it is able to develop a very high pressurized diesel fuel which is around 200 to 250 bar of pressure in common CI engine. If you will say that it is a CRDI, common rail direct injection, or DCR, direct injection common rail system types of engine, then the pressure we are generating 1800 bar to 2000 bar. You should remember, in another class we may discuss the advanced system in CRDI or DCR system, but here in common CI engine we are generating the 200 to 250 bar of pressure. Now as the pressure is very high, you see the pipe that is connecting from the FIP to these injectors, so these are known as the high pressure lines, because the diesel which passing through these lines is very high pressure, around 200 to 250 bar of pressure of diesel is passing through that one. One thing you see over here, the important thing, you see 1 2 3 4 4 passages are there from the FIP that the diesel will pass from this one. But whether this one pipe is connected to the one cylinder, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 to 4, no, not like that one, because the engine, the power is generating within the firing order. You know firing order, 4 cylinder firing order, 4 cylinder firing order, we know firing order of 4 cylinder. What is that one? Firing order, we can say that 1 3 4 2, 1 3 4 2. It meaning is that the first cylinder will, the power stroke will taken at first cylinder first, then number 3 cylinder, then number 4 cylinder, then number 2 cylinder. At a time all the cylinders are not fired. Okay, so first cylinder will fire fast, the power stroke will be taken place at the cylinder number 1. So now this diesel fuel has came to this FIP, which is responsible to generate a very high pressurized diesel fuel. As I have said, this FIP is generating 200 to 250 bar of pressure due to this FIP pulley is connected to this engine prime mover pulley. So as the crankshaft rotates, this FIP rotates and it is able to generate very high pressure diesel fuel. Now you see how our engine is working. Engine is working according to this firing order. So as it is a 4 cylinder engine, we have two types of firing order is possible, that is 1-3-4-2 and 1-4-3-2. So 1-3-4-2 or 1-4-3-2, its meaning is that at a time, not that all the 4 cylinders are fired or power stroke is taking place. First, at cylinder number 1, the power stroke will be taken, then 4, then 3 and then 2. In 2 numbers of cylinder, lastly the power stroke will be taken. So according to that one, we should also supply this diesel fuel from the fuel pump. So now you can see over there, you can mark that it's in this fuel pump, the first passage, the one passage, it is connected to where? According to the second firing order, it should be connected to the cylinder number 1 injectors, and the second number of passage, it should connected to where? Now it should connected to the 4 number of cylinder. You see the second number of passage is connected to the 4 number cylinder injector, and this third number of passage should connected to the 3 number of cylinder. You see the third passage is connected to number 3 cylinder injector, and the last one should be connected to the second cylinder. So passage number 4 is connected to the second injector in the second cylinder. That's why as per the firing order, the specifically the fuel also be supplied to the respective cylinder. Otherwise, if you will extend this pipelines, whenever there will be a power stroke or whenever there is the end of compression stroke, then no fuel will be injected to that cylinder. So power stroke cannot be taken place. So it should be very carefully, according to the firing order, we should arrange, we should connect these pipelines, high pressurized pipelines from the FIP to the injectors. Now as the through this high pressure line, this high pressure diesel fuel is coming to this injector. Now we will take one cylinder as an example. We will take one cylinder and how it is injected and what's happened there we will discuss. And just like that one, in every cylinder as per the firing order, this process will continue. Now you see, I have taken this 4 number of cylinder. Whenever this 4 number of cylinder, 4 number of cylinder means in the firing order it is 2. So this 2 passage you see, it is connected to this number 4 cylinder and injectors. So whenever this high pressurized fuel is connected to the injector is nothing else, it is this name is from the injection. That meaning what the injector is doing, now it just increases the velocity. and these injectors having numbers of passages, numbers of teeny holes are there, which you may not see in this naked eye, but numbers of holes are there. And these injector holes are also designed as per the flow pattern. हम लोग कैसे flow pattern चाहते हैं inside this engine cylinder, according to that one, this injector teeny holes are designed. So numbers of teeny holes are there in this injector, and whenever this high pressurized diesel fuel is supplied to this injector, inside this injector there is a plunger and a cylinder also arrangement is there. So what's happened, due to this high pressure, this through this teeny hole, whenever it is passes, it is just acts like a nozzle. That means the velocity, as the area is decreases, the velocity again increases. So now after this injector is spraying, now what we are getting? We are getting this diesel fuel with a very high velocity with high pressure. You can ask that, sir, why so much of high pressure is required? क्यों इतना हाई प्रेशर क्या जरूरी है? ऐसे भी तो वी कैन 2-3 बार प्रेशर में वी कैन ऑल्सो सप्लाई this diesel fuel into the cylinder. So what is the requirement of such a high pressure? You see, whenever we are spraying this diesel fuel into the engine cylinder, that is what time? Now that is at the end of compression stroke. That means the piston is moving towards TDC. I am writing, the piston is moving towards TDC, all the valves are closed, and as it is a diesel engine, the only air is compressed, and this air, due to this air compression, this air temperature is very high, around, you can remember that 800 degrees Celsius now the air temperature is available here. So, and as it is compressed, you can say that this pressure is also very high. Compressed means the pressure is also very high. You remember, at the end of compression stroke, the pressure is reaches around 30 bar. 30 bar of pressure is remained in this clearance volume. I am writing here clearance volume. So whatever the air is available here, the air is now available at a temperature you can say that is 800 degrees Celsius, and the pressure at 30 bar of pressure is available here. And now at the end of compression stroke, just I am spraying this high pressurized diesel fuel into the clearance volume. So if I will not apply very high pressurized diesel fuel, then how this fuel is penetrate into the system? ये तो यहाँ पे 30 bar of pressure is available, so it is just resisting any foreign particles to come into the system. So I have applied very high pressure than that of this 30 bar of pressure, so that whenever this fuel is coming inside this air column जो कि 30 bar and 800 degrees Celsius temperature में है, whenever this diesel fuel is coming into that one, penetrate into that one, so it just tears out. It just tears out these air columns and come into that system, so that it is very well, it is atomized. Atomized means breaking into fine droplets, very teeny particles. The fuel lines is divided into numbers of teeny particles, small particles, and that is known as fuel atomization. And due to this fuel atomization, small particles, due to this fuel atomization, the surface area of this fuel is decreases. As it is very small particles, so the surface area is decreases. As this surface area is decreases, it comes in contact, more areas is coming in contact with this high temperature air, so suddenly it is vaporizes. It can suddenly vaporizes and attains this high temperature. As this temperature it attains, it suddenly just bomb blast happens and it automatically burns. That's why we are saying that it is compression ignition engine. Due to this compressed gas and its temperature, the fuel is able to burn. Another fact you should remember here, how much time we are getting after spraying this diesel fuel, and when it will burn, how much time we are taking? We are taking only, you can say that 0.002 to 0.2 seconds. That means it is a fractions of seconds are available to burn the fuel completely. Complete burning of the fuel, we just require fractions of second. That much of time is only available. That's why, yes, the pressure is very very high, so that what's happened, the fuel is more atomized, more teeny particles fuels will be spread into a very good flow pattern. So the fuel is surface area is increased, so it is very quickly it can vaporize and it is able to burn by itself. That's why a complete combustion is available, more power is generated, more fuel economy, good engine noise, and less pollution, less emission you are getting. Okay, that's why as this is the compression ratio is high, so here the thermal efficiency of this CI engine, diesel engine, is also more, and we are getting a very good fuel economy. You can say more mileage we are getting than that of this SI engine. Now you see, whatever after spraying of this diesel fuel, it is a timing. How much timing of this crank rotation the diesel fuel will spray. It is not like that one, it will continue spraying, because after this compression stroke, again the piston will move where? The piston will move to BDC, bottom dead center, so there will be no more pressure again. So there are a timing is fixed, the timing is designed that up to how much crank rotation the diesel will spray from the injector, and that is we are taking around some 30 degree to 40 degrees of crank rotation the diesel fuel is spraying into the engine cylinder. Now thing is that after that one, whatever small amount of fuel is remained in that inside this injector, what we are doing, if that one will be again flowing into the engine cylinder, that is of no use, because after the combustion, if the diesel will flow, that is of no use, and that is a losses, and that losses is known as a dribbling of diesel fuel. That is a loss that creates emission, and the fuel economy also decreases. So that's why that small amount of fuel we are taking as a return line. Whatever the diesel fuel is remained, that is going from the return line. From every injector you see the return line, the fuel is passing and it is matching to one line, and that again connected to the fuel tank. So whatever the extra amount of fuels are remained in this injector, that is mixed with one line and it is connected again to this diesel tank. So one drop of fuel also we are not losing, and the complete fuel is utilized for complete combustion of this CI engine. So it is all about, in a simple manner we have discussed that how this diesel fuel from the fuel tank to the filter, then this FIP, then this injectors, and how it is sprayed into this engine cylinder, and after that one how it is connected to the return line, and again it is come back to this diesel tank we have discussed, and how the higher pressure is helpful for a complete combustion we have discussed in case of a CI engine. So here these are conventional systems. So more advanced systems are nowadays it is coming. As I have said, CRDI, DICAR, these systems are coming, which is actually run through, managed through ECM, electronics control module, or you can say ECU, engine control units. So these are the systems available where numbers of sensors, actuators are monitored, and this pump whatever you have used in case of CRDI, a very good pump which is generate, I have said, 1800 to 2000 bar of pressure. So more atomized is available, more fine droplets of the fuel, so more good combustion also possible. That part will again in another class we will discuss. Hope you have understood. Any doubts, any questions, any queries, please comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching this. Thanks a lot. Thank you.